What's up, traders? Going 5 for 6 today. Unfortunately, not a good 5 for 6. Car decided to run us over. Let's continue. All right, traders. So as always, if you want to watch these live over on Twitch, I do believe I had one or two of the other trades that I took on Twitch. I don't remember if the stream had ended at that point. I don't remember, but car is on there. Feel free to go check it out. It sucks. A lot of people got caught in this on both sides today, short and long. It was just a nasty ticker. But I wanted to backtrack just a little bit to show you what I was looking at before I realized what had happened and what we ended up being a part of here. So before this ended up doing all that it did, this is what it looked like. When I first pulled the chart up, it actually looked like this. Can I get rid of another? There we go. So it actually looked like this. I wasn't super interested because at the time, VWAP and the 9, were starting to catch up. It was right around that previous resistance there from the after hours yesterday at 185. And I was a little skeptical, but I remember telling myself right before Brian actually had mentioned it in the live chat, I said, if this makes a run up to 200 and through, I'd be pretty interested in this, because what are the odds that it goes up to 200, reverses, retests 200, and then, makes a move. So it goes to 200, and I tried to be patient, because it did go to like 202, then 203. Again, you can go watch this live. And 205 hits and starts to jiggle. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try to get in here. We do. And little do I know, as you can see, we can scroll in a little bit. It ended up not being the top. So it keeps going. Now, I also want to backtrack real quick too and say, when you have a ticker like this, that's $200, I want you to stop and think, what if this was $2 or $20? What is the price point that you'd be looking for on that $2 break or that $20 break? And in almost every case, when I'm trading those size stocks, you hear me say, I want to see the whole dollar break and I'm looking for that 20 cents, right? That's what I always look for, which would be, in this case, if you took the 0 away, it would be 20 or 220, right? That would be that 20 cents. Basically just getting rid of that last 0, or the you know what I'm saying. You're just basically going down in price. So if this was $2, I'd be looking for that 220, or if this was $20, I'd be looking for that 2020. It's essentially the same thing. So in this case, I really should have been doing the same thing. On the 200 break, I should have been looking for that, that 20 cents. But in this case, it's $20, which is just insane. But by the time we get to $20, I already entered the stock and added twice. And that ended up being a really big no-no, because as you can see, I only ended up getting one more add, and then it halted with no attempt at a pullback. I think our average was 218, something like that, 218 something. That ended up being where our average was, and as you can see, it never even tried to get close to that. And then it went up higher, and when it broke high of day, I tried to hit on the break of this high, which was 242.48. So I tried to hit it when I saw 242.50, and I ended up getting filled at 243, which you can see here, 243.04. And look how many shares I had. I had 15 shares. I did a 3, it'll let me click it, a 3, and then a 6. So I did 9, 3, 3, 3, and then a 6 to try to get my average up, and just no pullback, right? But if I was playing this normally, what would you have seen me do? I could have taken 3 shares at 220. Again, if this was like a $2 stock, and then I would have been looking for what? The 50 break for an add. So I'm just showing you where I could have actually maybe made this trade work. And then through 250 would have been looking for through 3 for another add. I'll have to do the math later. But all I know is I now know to respect, higher price stocks because when they get moving, they can get moving. But needless to say, we ended up getting stopped out for what could have been our max loss. It ended up being $356, which actually I think it was like 360 something. But then we made a little bit back up here. This was the first sign of an actual possible backside. Came up, made a high, tried to pull back, tried to go back up, tried to go high of day by just a little bit. It was 385 was the high here. It went to 388.46 and came right back down into the range. So once I saw it did that, I was like, okay, this might be a fake out. It could be, whoever was looking for that last little push, pushing it up, selling into that pop, and then we're going to have the big drop. I literally took one share, figuring if we can even get a move back to 275, that's $100, right? That would make up 1/3 of the trade that I just, that I had taken down here. That's all. I wasn't trying to be greedy. And we did get a drop all the way to 331, and I almost took it there because it started to bounce right off of that same area, 332, 335, 331, and it hung there, but the halt was at 322. I was like, man, we're going to get that extra push at 322. That's going to be the end of it. Fake out, breakout. And like everything was working in its favor. All I had to do was go into that downward halt, and then we could gap down, and we could head back down towards 200. And unfortunately, that didn't happen. It got bought up and started to go higher. Once I realized that was happening, I got out, and we took it was like a $6 win or something like that on one share. And as you can see after that, it absolutely went insane. Went all the way up to 545 and 11 cents. Poor individual soul, whoever ended up buying that. It did, after that pull back, but I mean, just a nutty move. No way am I ever starting a trade way down here and holding through. I mean, again, if this was $2, am I looking to hold all the way up to $5.50? Not a chance. Am I ever getting into a trade that's $20 and expecting to hold it all the way up to $55? Not a chance. So that was my fault at the very beginning. I had a little bit of FOMO going into the trade, just, was eager to trade. Had a lot of my mindset outside of trading right now has been, I was on such a heater. It's not that I couldn't lose. I was just trading really well. And I keep saying, if I want to make more money, I just need to scale up. And so I didn't do that today. I still was trading just like I was yesterday. And I learned a valuable lesson today that, FOMO, emotions just surrounding you can always be real, no matter what ticker it is, no matter what price it is, no matter what time of day it is, no matter anything. Like, your emotions are always there and you always have to deal with them. So not being able to recognize something in the moment is always going to happen. Does my cut look good here? Yeah, of course it does. But could it have been a lot less of, damage? It sure could have been. Should I have been in so heavy? Should I have been in 15 shares at this point? Probably not. But I was, and the fact that, we managed it, just, again, if I don't have a max loss on my account or the willpower to cut at the highs where I could have or couldn't have at this, in this particular example, and I'm holding 15 shares at 218. I mean, we can do the math real quick. 218 or 545 minus 218 is 327 times 15. That's $5,000. It's $49.05 to be exact, but that's about $5,000 instead of $360 that I would have been down if I didn't add at all. No ads, which would be silly. Why would you hold on to something that long, not expecting to try to get your average up, But you get the idea. The risk to reward there can be pretty crazy. And me had 15 shares. Like, imagine all the people that were taking, a small starter position of 100 shares or even 50 shares, right? And they're scaling into this. It could get dangerous. It could get very dangerous. So anyways, that was CAR. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'll be more than happy to answer them. I was not at all, trying to avoid this trade at all. I mean, I was talking about it, all morning in the Discord. I feel like I handled it very well myself. Me and Thomas actually had a good conversation about that. And that was that. So I'm going to just go through the other trades that I took very briefly. These all look fairly normal. CHEK. This one was actually kind of annoying because it popped up. We got short. Tried to go a little bit higher. Not high enough to get an ad, obviously. But then it just wouldn't pull back. It just kind of hung out there. So we ended up scaling out of that one. I actually got out half at break even because it felt like it was going to try to go higher again. But then it dropped and then not really, and that was just kind of annoying. IGC, this one was actually volume out of nowhere, and the only reason I got in on pretty close to that first candle, is because of the halt price. The halt price was at 179. It was actually trying to halt, came out of trying to halt, and that's when I jumped in, and it ended up working out. I was really looking for the 150 dump, but it kept coming to this 162 area, and it just kept stalling. And once it started to try to go back up, I just took it off. So ended up being a decent one there. MVIS, this was probably my best trade of the day. Really nice spike up, kind of volume out of nowhere, a little bit of a ramp. Pretty clean previous resistance, went right up to the whole dollar, kind of faked it out, didn't get through. So we took a starter there. It popped through, got the other half of our starter, because like I said, I was going really small size because I only had $43 that I could lose. So I couldn't even really let a drawdown of $43 go against me at this point. So I had to trade really small. And so this one actually ended up working good. Just 0.5, and then scaled out 0.5. So that was a pretty good one. SEAH, another through previous resistance, as you can see there, up through $0.50. Pretty good entry. I think we almost topped it. Got the 64.98. We got 62, and just got as close to that previous resistance as we could. And WKEY, this one sucked because we hit this at 680. I don't know if I was recording on this one, but it popped up, clear jiggle, 685. There was a little spread. It was like 681 by 685. And I hit it when I saw 681. And then all of a sudden it dropped and I got filled at 666. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. But put our order out, 647. I kind of hung out up here for a little bit. And then all of a sudden it just flushed and filled our order. So that was pretty good. But that was our trades. Clawed back just a little bit. Again, Brian says it, and he says it well. It's just lost time. And I'm going to show you guys. I mean, you could see the thing over there, but I'll pull this up real quick just so you can see. That's the loss today. So this is my year to date. And right here is my loss from today, which I haven't even added the rest of my trades in there. I'll actually do that right now just so you can kind of see that it started to go back up a little bit. But other than that, again, these are going to happen. It's part of trading. You're going to deal with losses. It is what it is. I mean, there's really nothing you can do about it. There's going to be ones that there's always going to be outliers. There's going to be those supernovas, unicorns, whatever you want to call it. They're going to happen, and you're just going to have that be part of your plan. And that's why I have a max loss in place, to prevent me from letting one trade define who I am as a trader. I want to stick around. I want to trade for the rest of my life. I want to make this a career. So if I'm here just as like a part-time thing, just basically gambling, saying that any one trade can just take me out of the market forever, no, I shouldn't be trading to begin with. So having a system in place that prevents that from happening to me is what it's all about for me. So I don't know why this is taking so long. Oh, there it goes. Go right back real quick. And there's nothing special there, but you'll just see those 4 trades bring us back up just a little bit. We'll claw back, just like all the other ones, right? We always claw back. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to show up tomorrow. We're going to learn from today's trade and move on. It happened. It's over. And we're going to show up tomorrow to execute. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Always appreciate the support. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Find me in Discord. Find me on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.